do you see the U.S. economy playing itself out over the next 12 months? This is an election year. We've been talking a lot about what just took place in Iowa and trying to understand how the American public is going to feel about the economy may ultimately dictate how the president is decided.
Yes, I agree with that. I think it's a mistake to assume that everything's hunky-dory. And, and when stock markets are up, it's kind of like this little drug we all feel. Like, it's just great, But remember, we've had so much fiscal and monetary stimulation, so I'm a little more on the cautious side, that we are facing a lot of things in 24 or 25. And we mentioned Ukraine, the terrorist activity in Israel, the Red Sea, quantitative tightening, which I still question if we understand exactly how that works. I don't think we do. How QE actually worked, what the effect of negative, zero rates was for all this time. And obviously the politics, and and then the Ukrainian war is affecting oil, gas, food, migration. So you have all these very powerful forces that are going to be affecting us in 24 and 25. So if I was the government, I would be preparing for what I'm going to do about that, assuming things aren't good. And I just also want to point out, I wish the Democrats would think a little more carefully when they talk about MAGA, and if you travel this country. And the country's unbelievable. We took our bus trip this year, and Leslie Picker was on Spokane and Boise and Bozeman. People are growing. They're hungry to grow. They're innovating. It's everywhere. It's not just Silicon Valley. So we've got this great hand. But when people say MAGA, they're actually looking at people voting for Trump, and they think they're voting, and they're basically scapegoating them, that you are like him. But I don't think they're voting for Trump because of his family values. And if you look, just take a step back, be honest. He was kind of right about NATO. Kind of right about immigration. Mm-hmm. He grew the economy quite well.
China virus.
Tax reform worked. Mm-hmm. He was right about some of China. I don't like what he did.
No, I said China virus.
Yeah, I understand. He may have been right. And I don't like how he said things about Mexico. I don't like, but he wasn't wrong about some of these critical issues, and that's why they're voting for him. And I think people should be a little more respectful of our fellow citizens. And when you guys have people up here, you should always ask the why. Not like it's a binary thing. You're supporting Trump, you're not supporting Trump. Why are you supporting Trump?
It's hard to hate 75 million of your fellow Americans. And
I agree.
It's done criminal.
And, the Democrats have done a pretty good job with the deplorables, hugging onto their Bibles and their beer and their guns. I mean, really? Can we just stop that stuff and actually grow up and treat other people with respect and listen to them a little bit? And I do think the economy will affect. And I think this negative talk about MAGA is going to hurt Biden's election campaign.
JP Morgan Chase CEO Jamie Dimon said Democrats should shut up and grow up on MAGA. There are a lot of Democrats or people who liked Joe Biden would really vilify him for these statements. But as a matter of fact, that is the truth. You see, I am not saying that is the truth in the sense of Democrats should shut up and grow up. No. What I mean is that all that he said in his statement is true. You see, people who like Trump like him because of something. They like Trump because not because of the family values, like Jamie Dimon said. No, it's not because of that. People love him because of the fact that he's able to speak and appeal to their hearts. I remember in the 2020 elections, back then I was in Australia. And I was speaking to quite a number of colleagues who were in the United States back then. And I said, oh, who are you going to vote for? They're like, oh, we're going to vote for Joe Biden. And I asked them, why do you want to vote for Joe Biden and not Donald Trump? And I always have a very long pause. Then they go, Donald Trump is racist. Donald Trump doesn't like black people. Donald Trump doesn't. And I keep asking them, why don't you want to vote for Donald Trump? And all they talk about is racism. Racism is just an axiom. Is that the only reason? I asked some of them, is that the only reason? In where or in which of Donald Trump's statement has he appeared racist? Or since his presidency, what did he ever do to make you feel he has been a racist president? And they cited so many unnecessary examples. And the way he's treating immigrants, and I asked, if you, as a legal immigrant, live in the United States, and an illegal immigrant come into that country to take a job that you would do for $25 an hour, and that illegal immigrant take that job and do it for $10 an hour, how would you feel? I was like, well, I said yes. So he is not against immigration to the United States. He knows the United States is built on diversity. He knows. And I don't think you know the United States better than Donald Trump. But it's just because that is his principle. And that is the principle and the value of his political party, the Republicans. Then I asked some other people who lived in the state of Pennsylvania. Like, I have a family that lived, and I asked them, like, they were like, oh, they were rooting so much for Trump. And these are also immigrants from Ghana. I said, why do you like Donald Trump? And they started mentioning. Nobody had a pause. Like, you ask them, why do you like Donald Trump? Donald Trump is charismatic. Donald Trump is A, B, C. He has done this for the economy. He has done this. And they keep talking about Donald Trump. Anybody who thought about voting for Donald Trump in 2020 believed in something Donald Trump said. But if you ask them, why do you want to vote for Joe Biden? They just felt like they needed to change. That is it. So it is not like Donald Trump was a demon, or he was like, no. It's just that they just wanted a change. People didn't like the way America's outlook was in the global geopolitical arena. That is what Americans didn't like. Americans who always love to be seen as the good guys. Americans who always love to be seen as welcoming and all that. And Donald Trump didn't portray America in that sense. And fast forward 2024, that is the same thing that is going on. So many people are so much. And Nikki Haley said it in her interview. The reason why she's contesting is because both guys are not good enough.
You just did it again, and we've heard you over and over in recent weeks on the campaign trail, lumping Donald Trump and Joe Biden together. Do you believe that they are equally bad for America?
It's not even what I believe, it's what Americans believe.
What do you believe? Because you're the one who's saying that.
I worry about the fact that they are so focused on investigations and things that they don't like and focused on the past. When do you ever hear either one of them talk about the solutions of the future? I'm doing this because I don't want my kids to live like this. We have got to start looking forward. You've got a country in disarray. You've got a world on fire, and you're going to focus on people who hurt your feelings. You're going to focus on investigations that are involved with your families. You're going to focus on vengeance. With me, it's no drama. It's no vendettas. It's just hard work. And it's making sure we're not thinking 4 and 8 years. We're thinking 20 and 30 years out. That's what it should be. And we've lost that. We lost that a long time ago. But we can get it back. And I'm going to prove every day to every American that they made the right decision when I get elected.
You don't want to go there on whether or not they're equally bad?
I mean, if either one of them was good, I wouldn't be running. Yes, they are equally bad. That's why I'm running. It's because I don't think we need to have Biden or Trump. I don't think we need to have two 80-year-olds sitting in the White House when we've basically got to make sure that we can handle the war situation that we're in. We need to know they're at the top of their game. We need to know that they can take care of our national security and our economy. Right now, I don't know that people feel like that with either one. So that's why we're giving them a choice.
If Joe Biden and Donald Trump were good, she wouldn't have contested. That is according to Nikki Haley. So, and DeSantis has decided to drop out for Donald Trump. And as a matter of fact, Republicans believe that the way Donald Trump has been treated unfairly. Some believe it is a witch hunt, which Donald Trump, he said, has mentioned it. And even according to opinion polls in the United States, some Americans felt that majority of Americans felt like even when he was in power, he was not treated fairly by the press. So this should speak volume to the Democrats. When you look at all the opinion polls shows that Donald Trump is keeps gaining points in every sphere against Joe Biden. And like Jimmy Dimon said, he just highlighted the key reasons why more Americans would pick Donald Trump over Joe Biden. It's not that when you put both of them side by side, but that is it. So, it is up to the Democrats to either take what he has said seriously and work on it. Well, we still have a long way to go. The YouGov polls, Joe Biden is 38%, Donald Trump is 39%, and race to the White House is also projecting. So, Donald Trump is 45, thereabout. So it is just up to the Democrats to do what they have to do to get themselves on track. But I can tell you, Joe Biden is very unpopular right now with the American citizens, especially the young people, with the way he's handled the Israel-Palestinian case and the influx of immigrants, illegal immigrants to the country. As a matter of fact, when the polls were conducted, about 51% of Americans love some policies of Donald Trump. You see, they love some policies of Donald Trump, especially when it came to issues of immigration, when it came to issues of religious teachings in schools. For instance, a lot of Americans support Donald Trump's policy on banning hormonal or surgical treatment for transgender minors. Like, they also support requiring asylum seekers from Latin America to wait in Mexico while their claims are processed in the United States. 53% also support passing a law establishing that only two genders, as determined at birth, are recognized by the US. 51% agree with Donald Trump that arresting and deporting thousands of illegal migrants should be the order of the day. 49% believe that building a wall that extends along the entire US-Mexico border is the right thing. 49%. 10% are undecided, and only 41% are against it. So this tells us that something really is not going on with the Biden administration, because the citizens of the United States were against the building of the wall. Today, if they wake up and say they would want a wall, 49%, and 10 undecided, then that means that the Democrats really need to wake up. The Democrats need to wake up. And it is not in my place to tell Democrats what to do. But surely, democracy is at stake. The world looks up to the United States. Is it going to be the MAGA group, or is it going to be the Democrats? Leave your comment in the comment section. The name is Mandela on Mandela Unveiled. Until we meet next time, adios.